Are we, we're ready to go. It's 2 minutes after 6. We'll call a meeting to order. Tobias, if you would do roll call.
Harstead. Richardson.
Here.
Osby.
Here.
Meyer. Here.
Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And quick little prayer for the day. Thank you, Lord, for the nice weather we're getting. Now, obviously, we can use some rain out there, and appreciate you take care of all our people in town and all our people in the fire department and our council people and teachers, just everybody in general. Much appreciated. Thank you. Amen. Is there a motion to pass the agenda? Nobody has any changes or add-ons? Okay. We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Meeting minutes. I looked at them before. They looked all right to me, but anybody? Okay. Is there a second? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. The financials, do we want to pass them and then talk about them when it's Jana's turn? Would that be
However you guys want to do it.
it's up to you, Jana. We can have a motion to pass them and then talk about them.
I'm probably gonna talk about quite a bit of it when we get down to finance.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the financials? All those in favor, aye? Opposed, same sign, motion carried. The claims, has everybody had a chance to, look at that? Thought I had one thing, but Raztech is our new IT company, right? Not A and B, so. Is there a motion on the claims? Is there a second? All those in favor, aye? Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Consent calendar items, abatement property tax request. Is that,
That's the county property tax.
pardon?
That's the county property
It's for the
tax.
city shop, they assess property tax when we replatted the property. So we need to go through the abatement procedure.
Okay. We'll just talk about them and we can pass them all at once. The copier addendums, everybody seen that? Tobias can probably explain that the best.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know we got the mosquito contract with Sioux Falls here. And the Wood Nickel Special Event Liquor License. And the surplus of the old sander, we got the new one. And then the garbage and more to renew their license. So is there a motion on the consent calendar?
Second.
All those in favor, aye? Opposed, same sign. And, well, the only one to swear in is Alan right now.
You.
Oh,
But we can
very
do that after the meeting too. However you guys want to do it.
Well, we thought, I guess at the time we set this up, we didn't know what we're gonna have, for people here and maybe about street dance and so on, so I thought, let's get that out of the way and get everybody appointed. Eric Shooty, but I could call him, but I talked to him last week.
Okay, well, if he's not gonna do it, I know Jim Hoff said he would.
Okay,
I can do it.
well, he said he would.
I'll let you check.
I'm not gonna slow up the meeting tonight. We'll just, well, we have to do each one individual?
No, you can do them all at once.
Okay. Do we want to do them all except Eric, that he's not here? It's up, I guess. I know he said he would do it, but,
Who needs to be sworn? Me?
all of us, I guess.
I mean, in the swearing in, you can do at the meeting, no, not Mike, no.
Oh, no,
Nate,
and we have to appoint
and
Alan?
then Eric.
Oh, I thought it was all of us.
Yeah, I mean, but you can do it at the meeting or after the meeting, doesn't matter, however you guys want to.
What do you want to do?
I'll just do it after.
Okay,
That's.
that sounds, okay, open comments.
So wait, was there a motion to, with these appointments?
Yes.
No,
Oh, yeah.
I thought we were gonna wait till, we were gonna approve it, but
Yeah.
do the
Yeah, we'll do
actual,
that.
okay. Motion to approve was made by Jan, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, aye. Okay, now open comments. Jim, you got 3 minutes.
Well, about the speed limit sign, I see that's gone, it's not put back up.
The speed limit sign itself, Jake, is that,
So, yeah, that one was, did that, I didn't know if the population sign get put back up?
Yeah, that got put up a while ago, though.
Would have been just like last week or something, or maybe a week before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the population sign was H-E-W, they put that one back up, they replaced the Ellsbar. The speed limit sign
That's on,
was related to the Heritage Pond, so that would have been site works.
depends on the county too, no. We met with the county and remember.
yeah, Tobias and Chad went and met with Jacob Maris on signs and where we put them, did you guys talk about the south
Yeah,
end?
it's like gonna go like right in that vicinity, but the county, because the county still has jurisdiction, because the city doesn't have both right of way, so they're gonna place it. That's the way I understood it. And we followed up with them too, and we're gonna follow up after the meeting, because I emailed him after our meeting. So, yeah.
They're building it farther south.
A little bit, because they have to do certain adjustments because of the length between, or distance between street signs, like from 55 to 45 to 25, they have to do like 400, 300 feet or something. And that,
We
or,
got the school coming up too, so that's gonna take some.
The school's gonna probably do that 15, when children are present, or whatever, isn't that kind of required for a school zone? So that's another one that's gotta be added. I would assume that's a requirement.
You just basically put the speed limit signs.
Yeah, but
Like
we-
the school sign.
So which one's missing, the 25?
Yeah,
The 25's missing and then the 10 or 15 or whatever.
well, they're gonna put that, the slow down, right, put that one up, but that's also on the,
Well, so the developers are doing the street signs.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anything above and beyond that, they're not. That's
Yeah.
the city is what I believe was decided.
So like a school zone sign or, that's all on us?
Well, depends on where it's at.
I guess the school might be a little bit of a specific situation, but any like speed limit or signs beyond the street signs aren't gonna be put in, just the street signs.
Probably need to
Well,
clarify.
well,
with Jacob.
because it is outside of city limits, that slow down sign, I have to talk to the county.
So clarify with Jacob probably.
And Jacob was very helpful, it sounds like, with, especially up on the north end where put the signs and what speed and so on. Okay, that was a long, 3 minutes, Jim. Public hearings, none, capital improvements and repairs. We didn't list anything, I'll just, again, hopefully we can stay within our budget, real tight here for 2 years and then have some money to do some of these things we all want to see done. And I don't know if you noticed, I put it on Facebook. I'll have Tobias put it on the city website. But our sales tax 22 year end to 21 year end increased by 32.43%. And the next closest was Lennox at 26. So I haven't seen where we're at up to through the end of April, but they're continuing to keep going. That's the money that's going to help us get some of this other stuff done on our list. I know we signed a contract. You have it in the packet, but as far as the slurry seal to be done, that'll be done this year. So utility, you got, Jake, you've got in there, East Side Lift Station pay application. I was reading through it. And
Yeah, that's basically for all the grading work that they've been doing the last few months, getting caught up on some of that. It's, all stuff that's was approved with the previous change order and such.
Okay, we have to do a motion on that.
Yeah, they need to submit payroll, so I would only approve it if they submit payroll numbers for payment.
You're gonna have a signed copy information of you back technically, so I just approve it contingent on contractor concurrence.
And payroll submission.
Is there a motion regarding the stipulations on before we pay them?
I'll make a motion to pay contingent on payroll and would you say the other one? Contracted concurrence.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The East Side Lift Station change order.
Yeah, I apologize for the timing of this because I spoke with Toby on it Friday. We got an agenda, but I didn't get the numbers until the day. We unfortunately were waiting for quite some time to get them. It involves some of the changes that have been discussed with staff and contractor, some fencing and kind of small culvert to help some drainage in the adjacent field based on the kind of way the grading turned out, some extra material. The biggest item on there is the outlet structure for the proposed pond. The caveat to that is that it's not really funding eligible because we're starting to get outside the scope of sanitary specific portion of the project. So, we were able to do the grading, you can need the dirt, so on and so forth with it, it can't really correlate the outlet structure to the sewer, which the funding was for. So we're able to get it as part of the project, but the $24,000 that would be specific to the outlet structure and kind of pipe there wouldn't be able to be reimbursed as part of the funding request. And like I said, I apologize for the timing of this.
So it wouldn't come out of the SRF?
No, it won't. It wouldn't, just because it's, that funding was for sanitary sewer, so they're DNR's going to look at it as, this isn't specific to the lift station or what.
Has that been done yet, or is this just a change order to get it started?
This is just to get it started. We haven't given them the go ahead to do that outlet structure.
Well, it's got to be done, but again, we get bid again on our budget.
That's 24,000 out of parks, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really, we don't have that kind of money to spend just on a whim every other month. I mean, it's gonna reduce fund balance. That's only at 61,000 down to 47. I mean, we're teetering really close to a major emergency and we will end up doing inter-fund loan, which I've tried to avoid with the tractor, so this is think about that, because that also will restrict what we can do next year. like every other like smaller project we may have had scheduled is now, we already are reviewing every single project over $400 or $500, so 24 is like a big chunk to.
Yeah, that's a big chunk.
Yeah, I was hoping it was gonna be in the 15 to 20 range, but
Yeah, it's equally bad.
kind of talking with John, he's explaining his pricing. It's, the location of it, getting concrete back there, they can't do precast because of the size of the structure. Their estimator physically couldn't move it that far, so it's got to be cast in place. So we got to get concrete trucks back there, which is why it's a little higher than what we had thought.
Those are a motion to approve the change order.
So we gotta have a choice.
Well, you don't need it. I mean, there's gonna be a pipe there. The water level is just gonna be like 4 feet lower, 4 or 5 feet lower than what it should be. The outlet structure controls the water level. It's basically raises it like 4 or 5 feet higher than what where that pipe is gonna be. So without it, it'll function. It's just.
And what's the water depth over there supposed to be?
What's that?
What's the water depth over there if we don't put them in?
Your max depth would go from like 15 to 9.
How about minimum depth?
Well, I mean, yeah, it goes from 2 to 15, so I mean, you know, your limits are gonna shrink too on that.
Do you need a certain depth for the fishing pond, I assume?
Yeah, to keep the fish alive. Again, we always have things come up that we're not ready for, but this one I think is pretty, if we're gonna do it, let's do it right and not chase it a year or two from now that's not working or.
For what it's worth, I can confidently say it's gonna cost more than $24,000 to do it next year or the year after, just by virtue of convenience of who's, you know, the kind of recruitment more than anything else.
Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Is that a second? Oh, Mike, second?
Yep.
All those in favor, aye. Opposed, same sign, motion carried. The drainage project pay application.
Yep, that project's done, they got it, I guess reseeded is appropriate term, they dormant seeded it last fall, but nothing really took, so that's been seeded. We sent final documents to the contractor, we're waiting for some lien waivers back, so we suggest approving that based on getting all documents back from the contractor. That project came in right around budget.
So you need a contingent on that one, approving it, contingent upon,
Received a contract out.
okay, so I'll make a motion to approve contingent on receipt of contract documents.
There a second, Mike? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Economic development, Mike?
Not a lot to report. We stole my thunder with the sales tax news. So
Oh.
that's,
I waited.
that's good. No, it's great news. Ever improving. Getting a lot of questions about the buildings on the north and the development up there. I've sent Clayton a couple of texts. Just everybody wants to know what it is.
Oh,
And I don't have an answer. So.
for all the buildings?
Yeah.
The ones that you can see going up.
All the wooden sticks sticking up, that's Lane McKinney Acoustical Supply. And then the one across the street from that is Ramba. That's a steel building. And then to the north of that, there's just vehicles sitting there, but that's Mike Jacobs bought that lot. And then the other building that's up is Ethan Amundsen, Pro Concrete, but then across the way where we had the groundbreaking, that's Real Wings. And that iron's been laying there since January.
Started putting it together.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Are you going on the bus tour tomorrow?
I am.
think I'm gonna have to back up. But, Sioux Metro Growth Alliance is doing the bus tour tomorrow, starting in Brandon, a few other places on the highway maintenance shop. But they're also gonna finish out here again. So they bought that through Crooks last year, coming through again. We got lots to show up. So
Yeah. And it's
that'll be good.
mostly mayors, SMGA, members or board members, and then county commissioners. But it's pretty much all day long. I can see how that'd be hard to. I'm looking forward.
We're actually providing a lunch at the,
What's that?
Trent and I will be on the bus too.
Oh, you will? Okay.
We're providing a lunch at the county shop.
Oh, at the county shop. Okay. Yeah, I would say, just in the last few days, I've had a Minnesota company looking here. They're gonna talk with, Austin and Mike Banworth, but they wanna be by a railroad siding. If they come, it could be a big boon for us in sales tax. It's not a secret. The company name is Drywall Supply out of Minneapolis. They're a big company. So, they, buy over the counter, wholesale, retail kind of thing, kind of like Tamarack and Egg and Drywall. Over here, I'm pretty darn sure now, up, towards the highway on this north side of the commercial lot, I'm pretty sure we're gonna see CC/grocery store. It seems to be about there. Then on the far south end, there'll be a strip mall. It'll face the West Ave, but there'll be a strip mall. I don't know if it's between 5,000 and 7,000 square feet. They got a couple tenants. I know I've been, I talked to Rely Bank once and I've never heard anything back from them, but they seemed interested at the time. And then in the middle, and that would be set back, not behind them, but set back in the middle, would be a fairly well-known hardware store. So if one comes, they all come. And the guy that would build them and own them also has an inn with Sanford. So he's already contacted Sanford about a clinic. I'm told the assisted living is going for sure. I keep asking him, are you sure? He said yes, and it'll probably be August. They've been working on finding cheaper money, and evidently they've got some big company that does investments, so that'll get started. I know they finally closed on their first lot back way in the back corner. I think it was $95,000. It's one of them that back up to Cliff's Pond. I don't know when that person will start. That's about all I got. I think I know Larry Haug had a lot bought up north. I know he still has it. He was gonna put up a spec building. I haven't been able to get a hold of dental office, but it sounded like they were gonna build this year. And then the next lot behind the dental office is Scott Gibson. And he bought that as he sold some stuff and needed to put money in a 1031 exchange. So he owns lot number 2.
Have we heard anything more from Minnehaha funeral?
Last I talked to Doug was that Larry Haug's deal when it was in here that day, and he said they're out taking bids. And he said, if you hear I had a heart attack, you know why, because a bit, but have you heard something?
Yeah, I just worked at DOT last Thursday, one of the guys that worked there, his dad's on the board. He said more likely it won't happen this year.
Putting it off again.
Said, I don't know how much it is to put a street and sewer in there, and plus entries and stuff, he said there's no way they're gonna make any money. So they're putting-
Well, they don't have to put a street in.
It must be, you gotta put a road in, right?
No, just the end, just their driveway and parking lot.
He said something about sewer and street.
They gotta put sewer in off of,
Well, maybe he said blacktop, maybe you mark that as a street or something, anyway, he said, time to do that, that interest, he said they ain't gonna make any money, they're gonna put it off. That's what he told me.
Yeah.
Um,
I think Noel Hall is the person from Crooks on the board there. Okay, streets, we talked about it, Chad's working on West Fifth Street, or you guys are, we gotta get that street repaired.
Talked to you, I got ahold of Tom, late this afternoon. He was inquired that if the city was doing patching anyway, that they patch it and send him a bill for that portion of it. But, I don't know what I thought you guys had mentioned there would be some patching done. But
Well, that would be our own selves, I don't know that we wanna get into. I guess I don't even know.
yeah, he takes responsibility. He was just, thinking that might be the most.
Yeah, Chad and I gotta drive the streets, but I don't see, unless you guys have seen something, I don't see as far as a big, soft spot or. I know we got a couple small things to patch. So, that's kind of I mean, we could, I don't think we should do it as a city. The thing will probably sink again. That'll be our problem. Anybody got thoughts on that? I don't know if you've been by it, but it's been patched once already and now it's sunk down another 8 inches again.
Yeah, I think this is one that didn't get done last year. It was one of the.
Oh,
that didn't.
okay.
But yeah, I mean, he self-admitted it was work of action, they took responsibility. The only concern there was be able to get somebody here to do it before the slurry seal. So that's where it came up with the idea of having you guys take care of it. And I mentioned to him, I was like, I brought up, yeah, I think they might do some patching, but.
Yeah.
If you're not doing any of the patching, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Well, I think it should be, otherwise we end up taking responsibility if it sinks again. I think they should find somebody to patch it. I'm so sorry, but. Planning and zoning,
They canceled one, right? Yeah, they didn't have a meeting.
government buildings and IT infrastructure.
What's out on the list? I didn't see that.
We'll include it in your packet. This one.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah, it's this one here, yeah.
yeah, those others
That
are
one was
baseball.
included in your packet.
There's just the one though for the.
Yeah.
this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's if it sits behind the fire hall and what makes that one good if Mike allows us, egress and ingress on the east side of the fire hall, we wouldn't have to put Eric Street in, we can put the water and sewer in, and just like we did out in the Dairies Field.
On the north side of Fourth Street,
Pardon?
which are already on the north side of Fourth Street.
Yeah, it is, but if, so we can just put it in the field, bury it, so they can farm over it, just like we've done out in Dairies Field, and So, and the other option is up at, Banworth. And I guess I'd, well, I'm kinda liking that option, though, but it makes it nice if Mike says that we can do that. That's a big chunk of money.
But that's still Nelson, I mean, that'd be contingent on Nelson.
Well, they told me a year or so ago, they'd part with an acre and a half. So that's what this drawing is 1.53. I guess, Tobias and I talked, I think, and on the next one will be the baseball, but I'd like to go further and get a cost to put that water and sewer in, so we know where we're at, and compare it to Banworth, because we've already had some drawings there.
I'm gonna speak in some round numbers here. If you take Eric Avenue now, which is just do the site and then put the water and sewer in, and probably, outside of the building, just a site where they're probably in like that 400,000 range, for that. And then, that's grading gravel, the culverts, they're gotta be pretty big culverts that kind of separate the fire hall and that site to get drainage through. To get water and sewer from, like, up Elmira for the sewer, and then across Main Street with the board and railroad tracks, just for water and sewer, not taking into account any other costs, you're in that same 400 to 500.
we'll see if, that can get, done. And we got the baseball concept. So,
Is this just like an FYI on a different?
yeah, concept A and B, Main Street goes through the middle of the field. And I think on any of them, 17 acres isn't enough, is it?
Yeah, you really run out of room. Just part of that's by virtue of the rolling nature of that ground.
Turn that microphone
You need access separation between
on.
the fields to make your
No,
drainage
this one.
efficient, so it gets pretty tight to fit it all on that 17, 18 acres. And then also with the, with the slope of it, the
Turn it
fields
off?
have to kind of all face easterly.
It is now.
Northerly to get them to drain out.
I didn't have it on
Face
before.
southwest, they start draining first half light.
So, concept C is the one that works. And, everything would be north of Main Street.
Yeah, the different options there kind of highlight the options with Main Street more or less. Obviously, there's reason to consider making that a through street and continuing it. The one version, I think, would be kind of shows how that creates a challenge with the current 18 acres because you're essentially splitting that in half. You don't have to extend Main Street or, keep your creating those alignments, but that's just showing how and what that might look like in the future there.
And there's a concept D, but I haven't even, talked to him. It's a possibility, but, it's a nice, would be simple square, but again,
Leave it alone.
that, I could. I guess we gotta see what we're gonna try and go through with something like concept C. Would everybody be in agreement to get some more cost estimate on this? We should have done all this before we.
Yeah,
really got
it's,
going.
you go 100 different directions here. That's kind of been the problem all along. So just trying to get some options out there to hone in a direction of what makes sense for the city and not spending a whole lot of time, not going to put a whole lot of time and effort on something that doesn't make sense. And, each one of those concepts, we put some effort and thought into what a grading plan might look like, and just by virtue of the similar size, it's all pretty similar in the amount of dirt that needs to be moved. So, consider that negligible, but when I say negligible, it's to the extent of 80,000 yards, so we're looking at, just an earthwork, you could be looking at $500,000. We're looking to bring all this stuff together.
And just for the record, I did order DGRs in these, it wasn't by an outside, somebody from Tri-Valley Baseball, I just wanted to see where we're at, and how we're gonna get there. And if we go, and where do we go from here, I guess?
Have they got any partners yet?
No, they're waiting for a drawing so they can go make some presentations.
Well, can't it be just potential?
And, I think part of the reason this is at a city level right now is just because of some of the implications with current urban planning standpoint and how stuff fits with, with future planning on Main Street, which is kind of what we've been talking with Butch about a little bit. So, which is where some of the different concept revisions came about.
Anybody have any thoughts?
I got a lot of thoughts. Personally, I don't care if Main Street continues east or not.
I don't either.
Main Street is a name only. I mean, we
Mhm.
have 3 businesses on Main Street. If that continued out, nobody else is gonna wanna move to Main Street because there's nothing else there. So it's just the way everything has platted out over the last 75 years, it's made our named Main Street non-existent. So, I mean, me personally, I like concept A the most. I think it's still got way too much parking in it, but I mean, at the 10,000 foot level, I think that one, I still think that one's our best bet.
Well, and the only reason I brought up Main Street, I'm glad to hear a similar view of mine, but the last 3-4 years, as we've looked over there for businesses, planning and zoning, that's definitely Main Street's going in.
Well,
If you're a business, you have to put Main Street in, yeah. Is that what you mean?
Well,
Well, what I think, I guess there's 2 trains of thought there. Option 1 is similar to what A is, where you extend Main Street across the railroad track, so that's an in and out of the park, but it doesn't necessarily continue east of there. It'd be easy to get connected to, to the north, to anything future up there, but, there's 2 trains of thought there. A, getting Main Street across the tracks, and then B, continue farther east.
and then even at that, what's the benefit to us if Main Street goes across the railroad tracks? I mean, what do we get out of it?
I don't know why, it goes against all the planning and zoning regs, but I don't know why it can't be as it is over there myself. I always thought it'd be a dead end, but, we really never had this discussion.
Right.
I have with P&Z director and, pretty well get shut down every time.
I mean, I'll gladly petition to rename 4th Street Main Street if that makes anybody feel better. But I mean, in the grand scheme of things, what's the value to the city of Crooks for the next 50 years by extending Main Street 500 feet or whatever it ends up being? You know what I mean?
Eventually, it's gonna end up over at 4th Street, because it's not gonna keep going through that low ground.
Right, it can't.
The one consideration there, I agree with you, Mike, but there's already an approved railroad crossing there, and, you're not gonna get, some in the future, so that's one argument to be made for at least getting it past railroad tracks, would be that, that is a crossing that exists today, and you're gonna be able to maintain. Whereas, you start looking north, and, obviously, once you get to Palmyra, it doesn't matter if the road traffic west, but it is a crossing that exists today, so not a lot of reason to abandon it in that same sense. If you look into it,
Is there a right of way for East 3rd Street as far as the second in or out?
without doing a deep dive into the deeds and right away there, my understanding is there is a piece of this parcel that's contiguous with that third street there, where we show it, where, possibility. That's not ideal, because it's, directing quite a bit of traffic through that small local road, but it's a way in now.
Is that the church? I mean, is that what I'm looking at, like the
Mhm.
entrance? Okay.
Yeah, if we don't have to worry about Main Street,
I would almost assume that there's, the way that that's platted, I would have to assume that there's easement
East Third
for
Street.
East Third Street to continue east.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure about that. Maybe, sorry, I maybe misunderstood your question. I don't know that for sure. We haven't done any deep research on this parcel.
I mean, just the way it's platted on GIS. I'd be amazed if there wasn't, but yeah, like I said, I mean, the Main Street thing is to me, it's a non-issue. I know that we've had arguments with Benworth over the years over it, but I mean, yes, I see the value of a crossing for the railroad, but again, to what? We have a crossing there. It's not used now. What do we gain if we pave that and, I mean, yes, it would be potentially a second way into that area, but
So are you saying that, like, if you looked at A and we left, like, that we still have Main Street as an entrance to Batesville Park? We would not.
well, this would.
This would.
And like I said, I don't know that we need that. Again, that's me, but you can make all the arguments about two ways in and out all you want, but you go to every baseball complex in Sioux Falls, one way in, one way back out. I mean, it's because of where they're built in the first place. That, like I said earlier, I mean, that land, when you look at some of those elevations, I mean, that's some of the lowest ground around here. There's really nothing better to do there besides play ball and farm.
Yeah, I think they'll show kind of the current sewer limits on there. And
Mhm.
anything north or east of that line would certainly require another revision.
No.
yeah,
And with our current sewer projects, we've already really set in motion where our expansion and growth is gonna be.
Yeah.
This is not it.
I talked to, over the elevator days, talked to Austin. He eventually wants to do just a load, unload site for rail cars there. He wants it all gravel or someday maybe pave it, but he doesn't want a street with curb and gutter. Not that he, that would make any difference, but, and if the other party that's looking at Manworth, he would do whatever's required, as he's a developer, it'd be his cost. But, well, I know, Tri-Valley Baseball is, anxious, like Mike said, to get something going or decided. I don't know, is it the next step? Do we need to find out more costs on the dirt work and stuff, or do you turn Travis loose with this point?
Well, sometime very, very soon, we're gonna have to come up with a project. I mean, and a total project, because that's what they're going after. They're going after the stuff that happens after we get it ready for basically once we get it ready to grade. Is they're working on all the money for fields and lights and scoreboards and everything else. But we've got to get to a point where that can actually be done. So, I mean, I would say we're to the point we need to get some serious project estimates and then figure out what we're going to do about it.
What do you say? So you're saying just kind of, earthwork performed, just some general seating and utilities to the site?
Yeah.
Kind of scenario?
Thoughts from anybody else?
I mean, are we gonna borrow money for this, or are we gonna get money for?
There's really no way around having to borrow money at some point.
We're talking after we buy the land for the
Yeah.
grading and the water and sewer. And you pretty well know water, sewer.
Yeah, we know, got the system, we can walk together, like I said, so I got the sewer on the top there, no one can propose that.
So do we wanna think about it? I mean, Mike, can Tri-Valley Baseball wait one more meet to the next meeting, or?
Well, I mean, do you think if he's just looking for, I mean, you don't think this is enough for a good,
Well, it would be, but what they don't wanna do is show somebody else that one.
well, no, we can't show
And-
D because we don't even have anything in the works for that land.
That was Travis's comment to me today. There's been a bunch of drawings passed around and they just need to know where we're headed so they can get some traction going.
Yeah, Main Street, if that's out of there, that makes one hell of a difference.
I mean, what we can do, I mean, is, like I mentioned today, we can pull the Main Street connection out of A and just kind of show it the one, one access. But that doesn't say that that closes the door on Main Street ever
Right.
happening. I mean,
I just don't see, if you go there and look, downhill all the way to the creek down there, and then it's a dead end, and you've got to get over to Fourth Street. And I think it's a lot of expense for that low piece of ground. Now, if a developer ever came in, I guess they'd have to come in off of Fourth Street, if that's the case. I think we're having a good discussion. I just don't want to make a quick decision because we'll give it to Travis. We want to know this is it. Go with it. And this A is pretty close to the amount of ground we're buying, isn't it? 17.
Yep. Need another 2.15.
yeah, I guess my understanding is it's as close to what was originally
Yep.
agreed upon as far as location and size is what we got put together.
Saying this one, just taking Main Street out of there and just showing this.
What we're looking at that, we want to show it coming out the third, or maybe not where we show it, feels like that's not.
Well, Fourth works.
Well,
That's also land we don't
Don't
have.
own.
property right now.
Do we have any update on that?
Oh, that's the old church.
Did that get,
Probably selling to someone private. That's what the last thing I heard. They've approached, I think, the neighbors, so.
So now we might not be able to put a drive-through through there anyway.
If you do, figure it out and then talk to them.
I sent them a note after we talked about it and I did not hear back from them.
Yeah.
I will
the neighbors?
know the
Oh.
owner.
I would call them directly, so
Yeah.
if that is something you want to
So we
consider,
probably
that
wanna get
land,
that cleared up.
get it ironed out right now. That way we can let them know tomorrow. Be like, hey,
I'll reach out to them again. I will call him tomorrow.
So is everybody pretty much on board with concept A pursuant to Mike talking to the church and what they're gonna do there?
I mean, it's the one that makes the most use of the land we are in the process of purchasing.
I like the way the parking lot.
parking lot looks huge.
Yeah, that's way
Okay.
too much. Way too much.
Didn't know how big a turn this might go on that.
So are you cutting into some of Vanwill's land
Just that's where we show Main Street, but if Main Street's coming out of the question, we won't. I think we maybe show a little bit because we show a possible city shop there, but all that stuff can come out for the sake of this conversation.
A random thought here. Could you, 804, the very east house on the north side of the road, could you buy that not usable right of way and clear this thing? Put in a road like this?
That's what I was wondering. Like you're saying on the very,
Yeah,
on the very
right
end?
here.
could that be your
Right where they have,
entrance?
like the rows of trees there, is not what it is. Because that way you could also maybe get the rest of 4th Street paved.
Yeah.
Just saying, that's,
Well, I was always wondering that too, like,
that's another one.
if
that's
this
over
falls
here.
apart, could you,
With the church land, the utilities are already there, right? Water, sewer, gas is also.
Sewer, yeah, I don't know, if sewer would work.
Sewer's gotta come from Palmyra for the sake of it.
you're saying that very last east
Yeah,
property?
Remember the Duck Lady house was what we used to refer
Yep.
to. And then it's like that, because it'd be that last couple of feet on 4th Street, get like that paved, then pull up the street, and then move the parking
I'd do
lot.
anything to get-
Possibly.
Random thought.
I'd do anything to get 4th Street paved.
Yeah, then you wouldn't have, also wouldn't have the issue with the church, correct?
Because we could get into a bidding war on that, there has been.
I have heard that the neighbors are interested in that.
The
Property.
neighbors, there's been builders here looking for duplexes or fourplexes that have looked at it. Yeah, with that little change, moving that driveway to the east. Then like Tobias says, we get the rest of East 4th Street paved.
Yeah. I mean, that would require probably some additional land purchase as well, obviously,
Mhm.
but I don't know, not terribly much, right?
I'm guessing it'd be cheaper than the church land.
You're talking about just getting enough for,
Right away.
right away, east of the easternmost house.
Mm-hmm.
So who owns that house?
Mac Gravy, they're farther down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do they own that land that?
That's the land we're talking about
It's
is.
still
the
Bonanders, wouldn't
Same
it?
people were buying them.
I didn't know whether it was.
No, it's not. It's Julie Dirks.
Julie Dirks.
Pardon?
Oh,
Julie Dirks.
Different owner.
GIS.
Julie Dirk.
Once you cross the property line for that last house at 806,
Oh, it's not Bonanders anymore,
Mm-mm.
it's Julie Dirks.
There's no easement.
Well,
not
because
here.
Bonanders land lines up literally with that eastern house, north of it. Once you go to the east of that house, you're not on Bonanders land anymore. That's Bonanders, that's not.
Oh, that's that lady, that gal. Gotcha. Well, we need an option if we don't get the church, with 3rd Street be the option then?
That's a small street. Running a lot of
I know.
traffic through there, boat traffic.
Running traffic into.
I mean, sometimes when I drive through that neighborhood, I can barely get my truck through.
That's why I don't like the other
Let's not
one.
get stuck in the weeds here.
Yeah, that street you would have to.
I'd like to at least figure if that's a possibility.
Well, according to Clayton,
That's a lot of.
the gal that owns that piece of ground, he knows her, because he had to buy a few extra acres from her for his house.
Yeah.
She was pretty easy to get along with. So,
And buying enough for a 150-foot road
yeah, so
probably wouldn't
now
be that big of a deal, but
we legitimately have something we need to knock out of there before we say this is ahead and go for it. We need to talk to that.
I think the layout, so basically the layout's right, we're just looking at another option for entrance, basically.
Yeah.
I mean,
Want to discuss it anymore? We'll just go ahead. You'll get ahold of the church and I'll talk to Clayton and track down that gal.
Yeah.
Okay, I passed a brochure around, Mayor Bundy dropped it off today, but that's the deal for the bus kids to the Colton pool. It's not done by the city of Crooks. They are gonna have a meeting with all the parents that are interested, I think on Sunday, the 21st. If I'm not mistaken, but,
Where was this option 5 years ago?
pardon?
It said, where was this option 5 years ago or 10?
Yeah. Well, in the 70s, I guess they used to do it. I was
Well,
told.
I mean, I grew up in Valley Springs and we had a bus we could get on twice a week that would either take us to Garrettson to the pool, or if it was raining, it would take us over to Laverne. Brandon didn't have a pool. But yeah, and I think it cost us $2.
I think it's great. 3 days a week.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Few
Well, the way
hours.
they're setting this up, the city wouldn't have any cost.
Yep. It's just paid for by the kids, or the families.
The other thing, they're really, Trevor, Mayor Bundy and I are really trying to break the old bad, Colton versus Crooks thing. So this is one small step in that direction. So,
Well, if you need a liaison to help you, I might have grew up there.
okay. Finance, Jana.
Let's hit a couple major things. FY24 budget in process. Tobias has sent out the budget emails to department heads to items to consider. Working on the reserve policies. We just already talked about that, file management software. Storm drainage, we already talked about that. Dugouts at New Hope Park. I'm assuming that's gonna be, after we paid, is that done?
I don't think they're done yet.
Okay, so that'll be an
I'll
expense.
have to go. I haven't looked for those.
Okay. Let's see, the welcome sign, that's kind of the one thing that was kind of out there. I don't know if we have a timeline for that or a budget for that. Do we know?
Well, we've gotten 10,000, donated towards it
Oh.
last year. Was it 5?
Okay.
Dana is working on it.
Okay,
Supposed to stop there, but, anybody can stop there. He's just basically coming up with a design that looks like our Crooks flag logo that we have on the light pole. A big, sign like that. Then on the backside, as you go out, it'd say something like, "Thank you for visiting Crooks." But then down below it, like the old sign had, you could buy a board, for lack of a better word, if you wanted to, I think Alliance was on there.
Mhm.
You know, if people wanna pay to have their name on there and donate it, you can use it towards the sign.
okay,
But yeah, he's, Chad talked to him about it and he just wanted me to stop back down there, but I just soon, if you have a chance, just stop in there in the Z store, because, he's also working on the Veterans Memorial sign. But, he thought the sign would be like, V shape, so, when you're coming in, you see our logo and stuff, and on the back is where he put thank you, but ideas are rolling, so if you got some ideas or whatever,
Major outflows for enterprise funds, water fund. We talked about, we're gonna do the mapping of the valves. Is that started yet, Tobias, or is that in
Yeah,
the,
the guys are here from rural water.
there? Okay. East Side Lift Station, we're aware of that. Natural gas fund, sounds like are gonna have to pay for the move on 41st Street of the DRS, approximately $100,000. I don't think we have a timeline. Do we have a timeline for that yet? We have to wait to hear back from the county.
Summer, early fall. There's more associated than just moving the district regulator station out with it too. We have to potentially lower the line, and it's too warm for that because you have to reduce pressure.
Butch already talked about the sales tax revenue was exceeding what we had budgeted. Water, sewer, gas, they're all revenue projections are expected to be met for FY23. Obviously, natural gas, those, we'll see a reduction as we get the warmer months coming up ahead. And I think that was the major, our cash position remains decent. But obviously we have some major projects on the books, so. As far as our enterprise funds are concerned.
Bias, any comments on that?
Yep. Nothing else there? As one said.
Anything else, Jenna?
No.
Okay, code enforcement, animal control. I haven't heard anything out of the norm, other than down on the corner of 4th Street West. It seems to change every 2 days what's laying out there, not laying out there, and how many cars are there. One day I see people walking in with a blanket and a pillow, and a couple days later you see somebody else leaving. I don't know what's going on there. Go ahead. Other business?
Two things.
Okay.
I've been asked a lot on my corner of town over here about the rabbit population. It's nuts.
Okay.
Just that whole 7th to New Hope Park and all the way back. I was down there the other night checking the park, and I think I counted 11 that were running in the outfield on the south field at New Hope. Can we trap them? Yeah. What can we do?
You can live trap them, and then you have to release them.
Yeah.
Can't kill them.
I can tell you, I lost 3 bushes and 2 apple trees from the rabbits. So this winter.
BB guns in town again. I'll take care of the one.
Well, we can do it silently. My son's awful damn good with a bow. It got real bad this last cycle through the winter.
Yeah.
With the snow drifts being as high they were, there was a lot more tree damage and stuff this time around, and man, they seem to have repopulated themselves quite aggressively.
Yeah, I don't know. We only have a couple live traps because every once in a while we get a cat or whatever kind of animal, but that'd be a full-time job. And then you go dump them in the country, probably gonna hop right back here. Or do we take them to the animal control?
Yeah.
You have to just go release them.
Release them.
Take them to Sioux Falls landfill.
What?
Take them to Sioux Falls landfill and drop them off.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't say that out loud. Right. For a joke.
So other business.
One other thing,
Oh, sorry.
I forgot when we were under utilities, but from the fire department, in the last 45 days, we have had 3 different gas leak calls now, and they've all been water heaters. 2 of them were new installs. We had one
Today.
Is it today?
Yeah, just down for me too.
Yeah. That was not a new install, but just if people go back and watch this, pay attention, because there still is some odor to natural gas, but it's a little less. So, but we just have had an influx of that in the last couple months that kind of just odd.
Other business contract garbage service, is this where we're gonna talk about the idea? It's just an idea. I don't know, the more people I talk to, the more they're in love with their personal garbage collector. And, I looked at it, 'cause other towns do it, but I looked at it as we don't have to have 5 different trucks up and down the same street 5 different days. Or not streets, but
I agree with you on that. If somebody's gonna come in and do it cheaper than all these that are doing it now, and they're gonna just 1 day or 2 days a week, just one set of trucks come through, I don't know why we wouldn't do that. Because as a city, it saves on our roads, and 2, it'll save people paying for their garbage to be collected money as well. So I don't know what the loyalty is or why, but
It's strong, I can tell you that.
yeah, it's to me, it don't make any difference, but I know people they like somebody, they like them, and they don't wanna switch, so. I don't know if it's
public
worth.
hearing on it?
Huh?
Would we have a public hearing on it?
I suppose.
Well, the other issue is, I don't want to create more work for this, a lot of cities that do that, the billing runs through the city. I don't want to do that. So you have to make sure it's feasible. If you're going to do it, is there a company that will still do the billing? I don't know if that's even a thing. I really don't want,
Billing easily.
I know, but I just feel it doesn't,
We've
I don't know why
already got
this,
everything set up in the utilities anyway.
but then you got to deal, so then when you get customers and complaints, they're going to call the city with their garbage complaints? Because now everything's running through the city?
I'll take the good with the bad, right?
Well, I don't, I'm
Probably
just
not.
saying there's more to think about than
I don't
just,
think we're gonna be overwhelmed with garbage complaints unless they don't pick it up.
well, they are if you're gonna get complaints if we go forward with this, pick a garbage company. You're gonna hear about it. there's more to, I'm not just being Debbie, and there's more to it than just picking a garbage company and, because you're talking about taking over the billing and everything.
I can tell you, Novak took over Canton, they did quite a few later, everybody started their own because they weren't happy.
Canton's actually
And I'm one
looking,
of those, I don't wanna
but
give
so-
up my
so,
time, I had
yeah.
it for 41 years.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I want to keep dumping because,
Canton's actually looking at contracting out again.
yeah.
Canton's looking at what I've heard is that Canton is, having the discussion of contracting this out. Citywide garbage.
I know one time the city was talking about it, they come in and give you a sweet price supposedly, and you're gonna turn around and charge us another $10, and the city can make some easy money on it.
Who said that?
That's what Novak is trying to do again, I believe, and then they turn around. A lot of people, they changed, they weren't happy.
We're not gonna make any money off it, are we? We can for the billing.
Well, we'd have to
I buy a
put a
ballpark.
couple bucks on it, but I guess, not set in stone, I thought it was a good idea, but I didn't realize how many people are in love with the service they have now. And I think it would really be a hot topic to try and get changed now that I've talked to people.
And Andy for 42 years, we were mom and pop shop, I'm happy with it.
Okay, hire residential building inspector. Wyatt?
Matt Haynes accepted a position at $25. I just need a motion that we can hire him. So we can
Move.
There we go.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, same sign, that motion carried.
Find his disposition.
Reading of ordinance. First reading. Ordinance 325, an ordinance of the city of Crooks, South Dakota, adopting revised zoning regulations for the city of Crooks, South Dakota. First reading. And
And resolution 2023-06 SRF funding, resolution giving approval to certain drinking water facilities improvements, mainly the water towers and water lines, giving approval to the issuance and sale of a revenue bond to finance directly or indirectly the improvements to the facilities. So I gotta keep reading.
Was that the whole title?
No,
Oh. Wait, where are we at?
about the second sentence in.
Also approving to the form of the loan agreement and the revenue bond and pledging project revenues and collateral to secure the payment of the revenue bond and creating special funds and accounts for administration of funds for operation of the system and retirement of the revenue bond and providing for the segregated special charge or surcharge for the payment of the bond.
Thank you. And we are gonna have a town meeting in the second quarter, if people wanna come to talk about the water improvement. So at the end of the year, we'll do one more letter, third quarter, and one more meeting, fourth quarter, so in the end, I just don't want people to go, oh, you slid that by us. No, we're talking about it for the whole year, so.
I'll motion to approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those, motion carried. And Mike,
Well, wait. Because I don't want to screw this up because we've done this before. So I know we're going to do the swearing in afterwards. But for the appointments,
oh, yeah,
don't we need to appoint Tobias's position?
Well, you did that, right? You appointed all of
It
the
was
approved
all the
list.
appointments
So,
were together.
so we didn't have to go
Right?
individual? We just said it's all done?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Alderman was vacant until the next meeting, right?
Yeah.
Did I understand that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So everything else was just packaged
We
together?
didn't
Okay,
make it.
I just, I get
Thank
nervous
you.
about,
Uh-huh.
I get nervous
Call a
about,
special meeting for tomorrow.
yeah, I didn't want to call a special meeting.
Swearing in, who's going, does everybody need to be sworn in?
Everybody but Mike.
Everybody but mine.
Yep.
Okay, then you can go ahead and make your
I
motion.
swore already. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
I swear I'm in. All those in favor?
Aye.
Well, I got that other house behind you sold.
Yeah, I talked to him the other day.
Did you?
Yeah.
We got a